Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Knox, NATO 7.2. Okay, since NATO's at war, there's no more escalation. They don't have any damages to repair, so we're right into tech. You remember NATO upgraded the minor army base in Picardy, so they now have 4 tech roles. So we're going to PGM, seed, chemical, and Top Gun. Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of success. There's PGM. There's seed. Top Gun is a 7, so yep, got that one too. Okay, PGM goes to stage 2. Seed goes to stage 3. Top Gun to stage 2. Well, that was actually pretty good. Quite a bit better than expected. Okay, after tech, we have global operations. And come up north here. I forgot to put the marker out here, but see, make sure I say, let me go look again and make sure I say this right. Okay, it's a good thing I looked. Forget I said anything about Sweden. There's no diplomacy because NATO does not have a defense treaty with Sweden. So, set that down there for a second. That takes us to request for nuclear release. Warsaw Pact, as you recall, has captured northern Germany and Denmark, and that gives NATO 4 dice for battlefield nuke release authorization. There's a 12. That's what it takes to get the job done. Sound the alarm bells. Get everything to dinging and screeching because NATO is released for battlefield nukes against Warsaw Pact. Gotta get around it out here. There we are, mark that battlefield nuke release. NATO has 3, 4, 5 self-propelled artillery to place for use this turn potentially. But they have to be placed per normal rules. So, it's self-propelled artillery. Now, they used to have to be built in a major army base. Let's make sure. Has it changed? It has not. They must still be built in a major army base. So what we're going to do is we are going to build one at Picardy, where we now have a major army base. And then we're going to do the other 4 at the major army base at Rhineland. So 4 plus 1 equals red. Oh, it slipped right out of my fingers back into the container. So we'll put that there. That's going to make 6 self-propelled artillery in Rhineland and 2 in Picardy. Okay, we've got that done. Now, I believe we're on to military aid and purchase. Yes, we are. Okay. Even though there is not a defense treaty with Sweden, rules do allow NATO to send Sweden 1 unit of military aid if Sweden is attacked by the Warsaw Pact Alliance, which it has been. So, with arms sales, NATO is spending 2 to send Sweden a mechanized infantry. And then for themselves, 16 on 4 MBTs, 5 on an A-10, 3 on a SPAG, and then they're going to build 4 cruise missiles and 2 anti-ship missiles. Okay, combat. There is going to be a little bit. NATO said, we're not going to take this, we're going to fight back. So first up, they're in the Black Sea. Oh, we'll say these 2 destroyers right here are each going to shoot an anti-ship missile into M11 with spy satellite support, so that they can attack the Black Sea Fleet. So that's first. Then over here in the Atlantic, the diesel boat in A38, 1, 2, 3 to A26. Diesel boat SSN and frigate in A40, 1, 2 to A26 to attack these 3 SSNs. NATO does have advanced sonar, so this frigate will cancel the first strike of 1 Soviet SSN. 2 will have first strike, and all 3 NATO subs will have first strike. Wait. Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's how that's going down. And then over here, up north, the North Cape region here in A8. SSN from A6, 1, 2 into A8. Diesel boat from A7 into A8. Diesel boat from A10 into A8. Bing, bing, bing. The Soviets do not have advanced sonar. No, they do not. They have 1 destroyer, so 1 of these diesel boats will have its first strike canceled. The other 2 subs will get first strike. And then from the fleet card, we have 3 frigates, a destroyer, a cruiser, an attack bomber going in to attack the Soviet fleet. 2 ASFs from the carrier are coming along to fly escort. And that's that. Over here on their fleet card, in addition to the 3 diesel boats, the Soviets have a cruiser, an amphib, a destroyer, and 2 frigates. So there's that fight. And then on land, the forces in Akershus are going to counterattack Gotaland. They're going to be supported in their attack by an attack bomber, an ASF, and an F-117 from Southern England. You can see I've got fuel markers on everybody so I know where everybody can go after. The fighter from Akershus is going. The fighter from Nordland is also going to participate in the attack. And then over here in northern Germany, the major airbase in southern England shoots a cruise missile. 1, 2, 3. They do have long-range missiles. Making sure, yeah, they do. So one from southern England, one from the major airbase in Rhineland, one from the major airbase in Paris. It goes 1, 2, 3. And then the strategic bomber in southern France flies over here to Picardy and shoots a cruise missile 1, 2, also into northern Germany, for a total of 4. There's a SAM there, so there will be AMD. And that's it for combat. So, as long as we are right there, let's go ahead and do the cruise missile. Actually, I think I can do everything right here without having to board it. I think I can. I can do all this stuff right here without having to move it and board it and everything else. I think that's what we'll do. Okay, so we're going to do the cruise missile surgical strike into northern Germany first. So that's going to be 3 AMD shots. Warsaw Pact has AMD at stage 3. So under new rules, 3 or less instead of an automatic 4 or less. There is 1 hit, so 1 missile is shot down. 3 missiles, let's get new dice, those weren't very good. 3 missiles go in. And they get nothing, all high numbers. No joy. Okay, next we're going to do the sea battle. Okay, so as I said, 2 NATO boats are going to have first strike. None of the Soviet boats will have first strike because there's a destroyer and 3 frigates, and each one negates the first strike of 1 enemy submarine. So no first strike for the Soviets. So, let's see, they're different values. Diesel boat for NATO, it's a miss. SSN for NATO, that is a miss. Bad dice. Okay, now we're on to regular combats. So we've got 3 frigates at 2. There is 1 hit. 1 hit. Okay, now we've got destroyer at 4. Miss. We've got a frigate. Oh, I forgot to mention the Soviets decided not to scramble. Or did they? Yeah, the Soviets decided not to scramble. Okay, so that was the destroyer. Now cruiser. Miss with the cruiser. New dice. Okay, attack bomber. Everybody misses. Good God. That's terrible shooting. Okay, in defense, the Soviets have an amphib at 1. Nothing. They've got 2 frigates. Nothing. They have 3 diesel boats. There is 1 hit. So 1 hit by the defender. That's the attacker. That's the defender. Now we have a destroyer. 4. Nothing. And a cruiser. Nothing there. Terrible shooting all the way around. Okay, each side gets 1 hit. 1 general hit. So the Soviets are going to kill a frigate because it's cheap to replace. NATO's also going to kill a frigate. NATO's going to press. They're going to try again. Okay, so this time 2 frigates. Nothing. Jesus. Maybe it's this dice tray. I don't know. 2 diesel boats. Nothing. New dice. SSN. New dice. Destroyer. Finally, a hit. Now is it? I got to refresh my memory and see if that's sub-target select. A 2, yes, that is sub-target select. So we're going to mark that as 1 sub-target select. Okay, now we got a cruiser. There is a general hit and attack bomber. There's a second general hit. They're finally making a little progress. Okay, now the Soviets defend. Okay, we got 1 frigate. Miss. Got 3 diesel boats. For 1 hit. There is 1 hit for the defender. Okay, now destroyer. There is a sub-target select hit by their destroyer. I forgot the amphib. He missed. Cruiser. Cruiser gets 1 hit. So they came up even to 3 hits total apiece. Okay, so each side loses a sub. And then each side has to take 2 general hits. The Soviets are going to kill another frigate and a diesel boat. NATO is going to kill another frigate and a diesel boat. The This guy should be over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 4. NATO's going to press it again. They're trying to take it Northern Fleet out. Good, bad, we don't know, but they're trying. So, frigate for NATO. There is a hit. SSN for NATO. Miss. Destroyer. There is a sub-target select. Cruiser. Attack bomber. Good. This rolling is awful. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, the Soviets diesel boat. That is a general hit. Okay, now destroyer. Miss. Forgot the amphib again. Miss. And cruiser. Miss. Whew! Okay, sub-target select by NATO kills the remaining diesel boat. And then one general hit apiece. The Soviets are going to kill their amphib. That's their general hit. And NATO's going to kill this frigate. So it's now 4 attackers on 2. They're going to go again. Okay, so SSN, miss. Destroyer. There is a hit by the destroyer. Cruiser. Miss. Attack bomber. Miss. Jesus, this is terrible. All right, destroyer. Miss. Cruiser. This is just, whew. All right, let me look real quick. I got to remember, I know cruisers are now capital ships, but are they one-hit capital ships? Yes, cruisers and amphibs are now capital ships, but they only take 1 hit to kill instead of 2 or what have you. So they're going to kill the destroyer. He's gone. And here we go, maybe for the last round. SSN. Destroyer. Cruiser. Okay, there is a hit by the cruiser and attack bomber. Nothing, but they did get the hit. The cruiser defends for a miss. All right. Kill that Soviet cruiser, take that task force marker off the map. That was a long, bloody fight. So these guys are all up here now. Them out of there. Long, bloody fight. Okay, now we're going to have the attack on Gotaland. Does NATO want to use battlefield nukes? At this time, no, they are not. No battlefield nukes at this time. Okay, so we have an artillery just shooting regular in first strike, and that's it for first strike. Oh, wait, no. I am a liar. The F-117 also gets first strike. Okay, so artillery first. Miss. F-117. Miss. Oh, this is... I may not use this dice tray again this game. This is terrible. All right, now into regular combat. The fighters, I forgot to mention, are all in air superiority. So we have an ASF attacking. Miss. We got 2 fighters for 2 hits. Finally, some hits. We'll do this over here like this. Oh, hang on. Let me get this. There's 2 air superiority hits. Okay, now we have the SAM with 3 shots. There's no terrain here, so 3 shots at 2. Okay, there is an air superiority hit by the SAM, which I'm going to mark different because it does not count for battle stars. So there's 3 total air superiority hits here. Which doesn't matter because it's, well, it does. Never mind, it does. Okay, that was the SAM. Now we have 2. We have 2 MBTs for 1 general hit. And then, well, the 2 mechs should have went first. Oh well. They both missed. All right, and then attack bomber. Miss. And I already did the F-117, I think, because it was first strike. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, so airborne, 2 of them defend at 2. 2 hits. Okay, 2 general hits for the defender. And 2 air cav. Nothing. 2 attack choppers. Nothing. Okay, so 3 air superiority hits is going to be two attack choppers and an air cav. And then 1 general hit will be an airborne. NATO has to take 2 general hits. Get that on the SAM. And the artillery. Okay, and they go again. So we have 2 mechs. Sorry about that. 2 mechs, 3 hits. They only need 2. Let's go ahead and do the MBTs. There's 4 hits total. That's more than enough. Airborne defends for a miss. Air cav defends for 1 hit. Okay, so these guys are gone. Go to land is liberated. And 1 hit will kill a mech. So there they are. All right, now we're going to get away from here and all of this terrible, terrible dice rolling. Oh, wait, we got to do this here. The second sea battle here, since we have the tray right here. Okay, so there are 3 first strikes for NATO and 2 first strikes for the Soviets. So for NATO, we've got 2 diesel boats. Both miss. SSN, miss. Soviets get 2 first strikes. Those both miss. Okay, so now we have frigate for the attacker, miss, and 1 SSN that did not get first strike for the defender, miss. All right. Actually, I guess well, they already rode. The Soviets could have gone on silent running. But they already rolled, so they're going to have to endure. So frigate misses. 2 diesel boats miss. SSN gets 1 hit. The 1 Soviet sub is going to defend. The other 2 are going on silent running. And he misses. So, 1 Soviet SSN is kaput. These things out of the way. The other 2 Soviets go on silent running. And the NATO boys are all right there. So there it is. All right, and now we have the ASM attack on M11, and the Soviets do have a cruiser and a frigate, so they're going to have 2 AMD shots. Yep, 2 AMD shots for the Soviets. Both miss. 2 ASMs come in. 1 hit. And since we have our spy set deployed up there, they do get target select. And NATO is going to target select the destroyer and kill it. Okay, that's that. I believe that's the end of combat. Let me check the notes real quick. This one took quite a while. Sorry about that. Okay, non-combat. The fleet from M2 moves over to M4. The SAM, keep knocking stuff over. The SAM from southern France is going 1-2 over to Veneto. The two mechs from southern France are going 1-2 down here to Lazio. The strategic bomber lands back in southern France. The Spag from Picardy is moving over here to Benelux. Two MBTs are moving up to Rhineland. These two artillery, self-propelled artillery, are going to move to Benelux. This fighter from Paris, I'm not sure if you can see it, it's here in Paris, moves up to Rhineland. The attack chopper moves up to Rhineland. The field artillery uses strategic land movement. It moves up to Rhineland. Over here in the north, the carrier comes over here. I had to check my reference sheets and make sure in V2, according to the reference sheets I have printed it right now anyway, the nuclear release dice for a carrier going into A8 has been eliminated. Like I said, according to the one I have now. The amphib that was on that card is staying behind and going in port here in Scotland at the minor shipyard. Put him in port. Okay, and then all the air from Gotaland. Okay, since they have the capability, the fighters here go back to where they started from. The ASF that started from southern England only has 3. So it's going to land in Akershus. The F-117 only had 1 lift. It has no choice but to land in Akershus. The attack bomber that took off from southern England had 5 left. So it will go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land in Rhineland. And I think that's it for non-combat. No, actually it isn't. Since we've momentarily destroyed the Soviet fleet, see if we want to make that statement. No, we do not. Never mind. Forget that. Forget this. I'm not saying nothing. That's the end of non-combat here. And I think that may be it for NATO altogether. Yes, that's it. No more non-combat. So now we place units. So let's see, there's one thing that's going in this part of the world. This spag goes here to Lazio. Get everybody else and head up this way. 2 MBTs go at the minor army base in Akershus. 2 MBTs go at the minor army base in Benelux. And A10 goes at the joint air base in Rhineland. Okay, units delivered. You know what? I think I messed up. Last turn, Sweden is a controlled minor. As such, it should get a recruitment roll. So, let's correct that. There's the recruitment roll. Yeah, recruitment roll. And I didn't mess up last turn. Okay, nothing. Because it was just captured last turn. Aid delivery of a mech to Sweden. There's that. And now all that's left is to collect money. Okay, NATO is at 53 after losing northern Germany. So let's look at bonuses real quick. Okay, it's +1 for possession of Gotaland. So that's going to make 54. Let's see, they get a battle star for capturing Gotaland. 1 land battle star. They get 2. I'm going to have to do some accounting here. Get them a 5 because these are all just in a stack now. They get 2 air battle stars for the air superiority victories, and they get 1 Navy for sinking a submarine defending alone. And they get another Navy for defeating a task force up north. And they get 1 for an ASM. Let me make sure I say that right. Is it an ASM target select kill? Let's have a look. No, it just says ASM strike. Non-capital ship is 1, so they get another Navy battle star for that. Yeah, they got their total up pretty nice. All right, collect missiles. They built 4, add to the 1 they had. They shot 2 anti-ship missiles and built 2, so that evens out. And finally, this NATO turn is done at 45 minutes. Ozark Outpost, over and out.